What is the average Social Security benefit for Gen Xers going to be? All right, that's what we're going to talk about here today, and we're going to bust out the PVC pipe of knowledge. So if you like the PVC pipe of knowledge, give me a thumbs up, will you? Just fondle, tickle. Give it a smooch, that like button down there. Have you done it? Huh? All right, so just going back to my diatribe I did last night about some YouTubers saying how the Gen X is doomed. Doomed, I tell you. I wanted to dive into a little bit even deeper and talk about we're going to actually talk about the median Social Security benefit. Median just means 50% of the people have more, 50% of the people have less. You use averages because that's what people understand, but in actuality, we're going to use a median here. So just, you're clickbaiting. Well, trying to get a bigger audience for sure. And no one knows what median is, but they do know averages. All right, so what we're going to do first and foremost, so we're going to look, remember, Social Security. Let me just briefly explain how this works. Social Security looks at your top 35 years of indexed earnings. Indexed earnings. Indexed with the average wage increase, AWI, not with COLAs, but average wage increase. So the money you made in 1995 is increased based on the increase in the AWI, average wage index, to give you a number for today. All right. So if you made $22,000 in 1995, that's what 30 years of AWI increases. It'll pay you the equivalent of what that $22,000 is in today's dollars. I hope that makes sense. It should make sense. Basically, it's inflated for the AWI, average wage index, which historically has been about 50 basis points higher than COLA. All right. So we like the AWI. It's a good place. So you take those numbers, all right, your top 35 years of indexed earnings, which means the money you made when you're a private Joe Snuffy in the infantry in 1988, 1989, when you're doing dishes in 1986 when you're still in high school, that's me, it goes away because we take your top 35 years. All right, so what we do is we take your top 30, well, actually, I'm going to go to the next point. So we're going to take your top 35 years of a median. Right? I mean, again, of your average wage index increasing for your indexed earnings. All right. So I'm going to show you right here. What is the median income before tax income of Gen X? And you can see for the people 45 to 54, it's about, was that 92,000. And the people 55 to 64, it's about 82,000. All right. So that's a median before tax income of basically Gen Xers. I know some of those, there's about 4 years of people who are older than Gen Xers, and that's actually bringing down the wages a little bit. But we're still going to use that, and we're going to basically split the difference and say the median Gen X income is $85,000. All right, that's median. 50% of the people have more, 50% of the people have less. All right, that's what the median means. So then what we do is we take our top 35 years, and we're just going to say, because we're in our higher earning years at this stage, I mean, if you're 45 years old, you still got another 15 years of labor. Hard to imagine your income drops. So we're going to say, hey, at the end of the day, we got to take our top 35 years of index earnings. We're just going to assume it's 85,000, today's dollars. Why? Yeah, because some of these people are 50 years old. They still got another 10 to 15 years of labor ahead of them. They're probably going to make more money in the future, but they also made less money in the past. So we're just going to level this out. Even Steven. That's fine. People, look, you're always going to have negative Nellies. Well, I'm only making $30,000 a year. We're using the median. 50% of people have more, 50% of the people have less. And we're indexing these based on the average wage index. So we take our top 35 years, and we're just going to assume it's 85,000, which is the median before tax income today. All right? We're going to times that by 35 because we take the top 35 years of indexed earnings. That gives us basically $3 million of total indexed earnings that Social Security uses to give you your benefit base. $3 million. We divide that by 420 because we're shooting for what's called our average index monthly earnings, or AIME, because our AIME is what our Social Security benefit is based on. Not the 7,080. We're going to talk about the bend points here in just a second. But you take your top 35 years of indexed earnings, we're going to assume it's 85,000 a year. That gives us 2.957 million. Divide that by 420 to give us our average index monthly earnings. That's our monthly benefit we'll get from Social Security. And that gives us 7,080 is our average index monthly earnings, or AIME. All right? So we take our AIME, we bring it over here. But now Social Security pays you as a progressive amount. The more money you make, the less money you get from Social Security in terms of replacing your income. So in this case, the first 12, this is in 2025 bend points. The first 1226, yeah, sorry my hair isn't combed or anything, I'm shaved. I haven't even brushed my chops either. What a mess, Josh. Don't you know you should be more formal like all the other financial YouTubers? Get your suit and tie and you look all fancy and have all your designations behind you. I don't want to do any of that. I never want to do any of that. I said, I'm sick of all that. I used to do that, not on YouTube, but I used to do that when I was freaking at work. I got my suit and tie because I'm a suit and tie guy. I got all my qualifications, all these stuff. I don't want to do that anymore. All right, don't subscribe. It's okay. By the way, have you subscribed? Only 50% of my viewers are subscribed. Why not? All you got to do is hit the button. It takes 2 seconds. If you never watch me again, that's fine. Just hit the little button. Boink, subscribe. All right, so anyway, we take our bend points. We have 3 bend points. The first 1226 of your AIME, you'll get 90% of that as a Social Security benefit. All right, so we take 7,080. We take the first 1226 and we times that by 90%, which means our first $1,226 of our AIME will give us $1,100 of income for Social Security. Our next, up to $7,391, we get basically a third of that. So from 1227 to 7,391, that gives us 5,900. So we take this 7,080, subtract by 1226, and that leaves us 5,953. All right, 5,953 is what we get in our second bend point. Times that by 0.32, and we get 1,904 of that. Now, we don't have any above the 7,391, so we don't get anything in the third bend point. And the third bend point is only 15% anyway. So in this case, we take 1,103, that's our first bend point, plus our second bend point of 1,904, and we get our Social Security benefit of $3,008, $3,008. All right, so that's basically $36,000 a year. You're like, but Josh, my income was $85,000 a year. I'm only getting $36,000 now. Yeah. All right, so we take our $36,000, just put it over here, divided by the 85. All right, so $36,000 divided by 85, and basically our replacement rate for Social Security, 36 divided by 85, that's 42%. Spot on to where Social Security is intended to be, 42%. Well, not intended necessarily, but that's spot on where we would think it would be, 42%. But, here's another issue here. We're going to go over here and show you right capital. We're going to go to Diane Sample. All right. So Diane Sample has got a salary of $80,000. All right. Now she's making $85,000 a year. She's a single taxpayer. She's paid income tax and FICA of $15,000, and she's saving 10% a year of her income. So of that $85,000, $23,674 is out the door. So she's only actually netting $61,000. All right. So she's getting $36,000 from Social Security, but that's before tax, before FICA, and before savings. But she's netting, what did I say, 61. So it's 36 divided by 61. Ah, interesting, is it not? Yes, sir, it is. 36 divided by 61. And now, all of a sudden, she has a replacement rate of 59%. 59%. All right, interesting. So let's think about this too. Let's say Diane also had, let's say, a $2,500 mortgage. $2,500 a month. We'll just use that for a mortgage. And we'll just say of that, $500 a month is escrow. So $2,000 a month is for her principal and interest. All right, so $24,000 a month of the $84,000. So we're going to take her mortgage, 24, plus her 43 right there, 23. All right, there's a method to the madness. Let me bring this down here now. So we got 24 plus 23 equals 47. So $85,000 a year, was it 23 for taxes and savings and all that? What was it? Yeah, 23. So her mortgage plus her taxes and her 401k equals 47%, $47,000 of her $85,000 she was making. So we take her trusty calculator. All right, watch this. Take her trusty calculator, and that's 47 divided by 85. So 55% of her income was going towards mortgage, taxes, and 401k savings. All right, so now we have no more taxes, because when you're living on Social Security only, you don't pay taxes. We have no more mortgage, assuming her mortgage is paid off, and her property and her income tax and FICA are gone. All right, so now $85,000, just erase this here. That's her. That was her gross minus the 47. How much is she actually living on? How much is she actually living on? $85,000 minus the 47, $38,000. How much is her Social Security? $36,000 bucks. So Social Security in this case, she's living on $38,000. So she's get 36 divided by 38. In this case, once her mortgage is paid off, Social Security is now giving her, what do we say here? 36 divided by 38. A 95% replacement. 95%. Interesting, is it not? Can you see that? Once the mortgage, taxes, and all that's paid off. Now, this assumes she works her full retirement age. Let's just say she quits. She quits when the mortgage is paid off. We'll say the mortgage was for simplicity. We're going to say the mortgage will be paid off in 3 years. So we're going to have her goals. We're going to have her retiring at, how old did I have her? Hold on a second. I got to figure out how old I had her. I had her 55. Yeah, so we'll have her retiring. We'll just say at 60 for giggles here. We're going to say her goals retiring at 60. All right, blink. So now her Social Security will be reduced. Why? Because she's not working until her full retirement age. Social Security, the benefit the state may get assumes you work until your full retirement age. So now her benefit will be the equivalent of, hold on just a second, amigos, boink. Her benefit will be, boink, in future dollars, Social Security will, I got her kicking in there, hold on a second. Oh, right there. So she'll lose, is 48,000 there. She quits at, all right, so check this out. This might get a little bit confusing, but hang in there. So if she quits 5 years early, let's just assume she doesn't have 35 years of making $85,000. She only has 30 years of making $85,000. So we take a 0 out of there. All right, watch this now. And that means she'll have 85 times, let's get the trusty calculator, 85 times 30. 85 times 30, 2.4, let me just make sure I got 85 times 30. 85 times 30. 2.55 million as opposed to 2.97 million. I'm just going to say 2.55 there. All right. And so what we do here, 2.550. And so we take that 2.55, divide that by 420. And you can see I was going to adjust our AIME. And we say 2.55 divided by 420 gives us 6.070. All right, 6.070 is our AIME. So now we take the 6.77070, reduce this over here. This is actually a pretty easy calculation that I can figure out. And we know that her first bend point, she'll still qualify with the entirety of it. As her second bend point, that you have to adjust. Excuse me, I keep coughing. I got a frog in my throat. 6.070. All right, that won't be 5953. That will be boink, 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 boink. Won't be, so 6.070 minus 5. Let's see, hold on a second. Yeah, so okay, 6.070. Oops, I almost said 6.070 minus 12227. 4843 times 0.32. So her next bend point will be 1549 as opposed to what it was before. 1549. Right. Oh, yeah, right. Hold on a second. Let's make sure I got that right. Hang tight for just a second. All right, so her second bend point will be 4843 times that by 0.32 times 0.32, 1549. So we add 1549 to 1103 plus 1103, and her benefit is 2652. So if she look by 2652, that's her total benefit here, 2652. So she lost $350 a month in Social Security by quitting 5 years early. That's it, man. Come on, that's $350 times 12. That's $4,200. $4,200 a year by quitting 5 years earlier. Now, Social Security will replace less than what it did because she still has $85,000 as a replacement rate. Again, this assumes, all right, that she made $85,000 adjusted for AWI over the course of the 30 years that she has here. Not 35 anymore, but 30. All right, but still, I mean, Social Security is still going to give her, what's that, $32,000, $2,600 a month. What's that, 32,000? Oops, 26 times 12. Yeah, it's $31,200 a year. Replacing whatever that was over here. I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was. 38. So 32,000 a year. She needs $6,000 a year from her other income. And she's been saving 10% a year into her 401k anyway. All right, so 10% a year her whole career. Yeah, I mean, even if for 20 years, 10% a year over her $8,500 for 20 years, that's say 6% a year interest. Can that give her the money she needs? Maybe. I don't know. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. You tell me you can't retire off that? Especially you got no debt? You're single? Come on. Come on, man. Now, are you going to be freaking buying a catamaran? Probably not. But Social Security will give you a big boost to your retirement. And again, it's tax-free as long as Social Security is your only income. And if we have $6,000 a year from her 401k, so let's just say she has $6,000 a year divided by 0.06, she needs to have $100,000 in her 401k. Can she have that saving 10 to 15 to 20 years at $8,000 pop? Of course. Of course. So $100,000 of 401k, $6,000 a year she's taking from it, no problem. On top of that, she's got $32,000 from her Social Security. All this is tax-free. But Generation X is doomed, I tell you. I love your thoughts. God bless. We'll see you.